So let's talk about what I have been through with this bike a little bit.
Show me the all damn day. Show me the all damn day. All damn day.
The bike about to reach 30 hours. It has like 29 hours right now. So we've been through a lot with this bike since the beginning, because I didn't want to give up on this bike just because of the engine wasn't the way I wanted to. I decided to adjust the TPS myself, since I have unusual condition like engine backfires. I gotta fix it because the dealer is quite far away from me, so I just tried to adjust the TPS on my own. This bike is a super awesome bike for its handling, for its lightweight, for its suspension. It's just an excellent bike. But the engine, because of the European regulation, it's just not there. It wasn't there, and it's still not there from the factory. You can change that, but it takes a lot of effort, and companies will just start coming up with solutions to fix the engine problem, which is kind of low on torque and it doesn't have enough power. And don't get me wrong, for most people probably works extremely well, but for those of you who get used to how the engines are running in the good old days when the carburetor powered them, or even just go back to 2022, those engines were amazing compared to this one. And what I did to I was starting out to messing with the TPS, and that made the bike better. It gave more fuel to the bike, so I was able to achieve more torque out of the bike, which is quite enjoyable. And then I get used to it the way it was, and I didn't even thinking about to do much other stuff with it because the parts at the time just wasn't available. I bought this bike like mid 2023. I don't even know if anybody else had that bike. I bought it so early. And now TSP, Tusso Performance, made ERM, they call it ERM, which is made the bike so much better. Just be more precise, made the engine so much better than ever was before. So to me now, this bike is a perfect enduro weapon, and it just works very, very good with that changes what the ERM made to the engine. Besides the engine, the suspension always been good. It needed to be worked in. So like 14 hours, it's really where you need to be to get the best out of the engine and the frame, because it's just too rigid before that. Also, back to the engine, I had to replace the piston because I kind of revving it quite a lot, and what happens is I had like lines on the piston and the engine wasn't run the way it's supposed to. So anyway, long story short, I just changed the piston out. It wasn't in the best shape when I changed it out. And I had like 14-15 hours at the bike when I did that. I put the Wöchner piston in there, which works extremely well. Right now, the bike is running like the factory bike does. It has that Same squishy sound. It's really, really torquey. So much so, when I installed the ERM on the bike, I tried to make a video about it, and I actually didn't like the change because it was so much compared to the way it was before. But now I'm getting used to it, and I enjoy it quite a lot. So this bike, if you do these engine mounts, can be a really, really good bike. For me, this is one of my best bikes. I win a race with this bike. I haven't been able to take it up to the mountains yet. I'm about to see how it performs over there. But overall, this bike is just a pleasure to ride right now with all of these mods what I have done to it. The other thing what I did to it, let me just show you around. So I changed the handlebar clamp. I put 720 SBC on it. I changed the triple clamp up front. Honestly, I think it's too much money, and the result is just so little. Unless if you are the top 1%, it doesn't do much for you, for sure. And it's too rigid compared to the way the OEM triple clamp is. I put the KTM handguard on it. I customized a little bit. I did some mods. So now it has 3 points of connection. Two on the handlebar and one on the levers. I made a connection over there, so it works very well. I also changed the chain. I'm running a very narrow and very narrow change. I think it's called MK, made in Japan, and it's like a pound lighter than the stock chain. And I put the seat concept, seat cover on it, just to have a better grip. FMF, full exhaust system. And besides that, I just made a few cosmetic changes. The suspension, I set it up super hard because I kind of like to ride fast, and I have it up super hard. That's the way I like it. I can jump with it. I can do whatever I want with it, and it just serves me very well. The suspension on this bike is one of the best part what they changed for as previous models. This suspension, front and rear, same concept as the KYB has. So technically they made a copy of the KYB suspension in a way, and that's what's up front. It's an excellent bike. Even with all of those problems what I had with it, I still claim this is one of my best bike I ever had, besides my YZ. If you need adrenaline, that's the bike to go with. But if you do these changes, I also put the TPS mid compression head on it. So with these changes, this bike can be your best bike you ever owned if you do these changes. I have these bikes pretty much in every year. I didn't have the 23. I didn't want to have too much trouble buying the 23 because of the first year when they came out with the TPI, but I had 22, and earlier, all the way up to 2018, I bought these bikes every year, and 2-stroke, 4-stroke, and out of all, this is the best what they ever did. I'm not in the way.